Commanders Nation, buckle up because what I'm about to drop is gonna blow your minds. While our defensive line was bleeding out week after week, the answer was hiding in plain sight on the roster. And when they finally gave him a shot, our veteran leader dropped the most brutal truth of the year that explains exactly why all that effort still isn't enough to win. If you bounce now, you'll miss the 3 stories that define our future. Smash that like button and subscribe, because this is just getting started. Story 1. Ricky Barber, the discovery that came too late after 16 weeks of watching our D-line struggle to generate pressure. After seeing Javon Kinlaw completely disappear with 0 sacks all season, after losing Dietrich Wise and Dorrance Armstrong. Turns out we had the answer on the roster the whole time. Ricky Barber, an undrafted rookie. A 6'3", 295-pound nobody. And in his first game of the season, in just 15 snaps against the Cowboys, this dude logged the sack on Dak Prescott in the Dallas O-line. Do y'all get how huge that is? In 15 snaps, he did more than Kinlaw did all damn year. Let me tell you this, when I saw Barber getting after Prescott, when I saw him finish as the 6th highest graded defender on the team according to PFF in his debut, I asked myself the same thing you're asking right now. Where the hell was this guy all year? Look, I get it. We had Darren Payne. Johnny Newton is still developing. We trusted vets like Sheldon Day. But when an undrafted rookie outperforms all those names in his first game, when he does in 15 snaps what others couldn't do in hundreds, then we've got to ask serious questions about our evaluation process. And you know what's the most frustrating part? Now let me ask you this. How is it possible that a defensive staff led by Joe Witt Jr., with all his experience, didn't see this potential earlier? Because I don't think this is just about Barber being good. It's about us being bad at evaluating our own talent. Newton had 3 sacks against Dallas, and that's great. The kid's showing why he was our 2nd-round pick. But Barber, a guy probably making league minimum, came out and showed more fire than dudes cashing million-dollar checks. Sheldon Day's been in this league for years, and Barber outplayed him in his first game. That's not luck. That's raw talent being wasted on the practice squad while we were out here losing games. You think this is acceptable? Because I'm telling you it's not, when your pass rush is ranked 28th in the league. And now comes the million-dollar question. Will Barber play against the Eagles in Week 18? Because if Dan Quinn and Joe Witt don't give him real snaps after this performance, then they're not serious about putting the best product on the field. Goldman's on IR. He's not coming back. Payne's hurt. Probably out too. Newton needs help. He can't carry the whole interior by himself. I know the sample size is small. Ain't trash either. This discovery came too late. Way too late for this season. And you know what else this tells me? That there's probably more hidden talent on our roster we're not using. How many other Ricky Barbers are sitting while we keep rolling with vets who've already hit their ceiling? I think this is both a gift and a curse. A gift because we found a potential piece for the future without spending a draft pick. A curse because it makes us wonder how many gains we threw away by not giving him a shot earlier. Story 2. Burgundy and gold brutality when winning still hurts. If that shocked you, wait till you hear this. He said when reporters walked into the Dallas locker room, they'd see his players looking like they'd just been in a heavyweight title fight. Malik Davis, their running back who torched us for over 100 yards, left the game with a bloody arm, a swollen eye, looking like Mike Tyson hit him with a right hook. And Schottenheimer admitted Dallas was running out of bodies by the end of the game. Do you understand what that means? Let me tell you this. In a division like the NFC East, where the rivalry with Dallas is historic, where every game is a war, physicality is non-negotiable. And we've got it. We've had it all year, even in losses. But let me ask you, if they won and came out that beat up, how do you think we looked? Because I think both teams left blood, sweat, and tears on that field. Davis had 20 carries, over 100 yards, helped Dallas control the clock for 38 minutes. But every one of those yards came with a fight. Every carry was a battle. And when Schottenheimer looked at him in the fourth quarter and saw his eyes swollen shut, he had to pull him because the dude literally couldn't see, even though they gave up 80-something plays. Never stopped fighting. Never stopped making Dallas pay for every yard. Terry McLaurin said something after the game that sums up exactly who we are. That's who we've been as a group all year. Since DQ got here last year, we're a group that's going to play 4 or 5 quarters no matter what it costs. 4 or 5 quarters. That's not exaggeration. That's real. How many games this year have we seen this team fighting till the last second, no matter the score, no matter the situation? But here comes the hard part, and McLaurin said it too. We know we're going to fight, but just fighting isn't enough. We have to execute at a higher level. I love our fight, but the execution isn't at the standard it needs to be to win games. You see the pattern here? Everyone acknowledges the physicality. Everyone acknowledges the effort, but they also all admit it's not enough. And that's the harshest truth of this season. A team that never quits, that leaves it all on the field, that makes opponents pay physically for every win. But also a team that doesn't execute in critical moments, that makes costly mistakes, that can't turn that physicality into consistent wins. And you know what's frustrating? Physicality is the hard part to build. That's culture. That's mindset. That's what Quinn has installed here. We've only got one, and that's how you end up a .500 team or worse. But here's my point. I'd rather have the physicality and work on execution than have execution without physicality. Because physicality can't be taught overnight. It's built over time with the right culture. We left our mark, and in a rivalry like this, that matters. You think the Cowboys are going to forget this game? And that, my friends, is burgundy and gold. That's what it means to be a commander. We don't always win, but we always fight. And in 2026, when we fix the execution, when we clean up the details, after everything we've talked about, the physicality, the emergence of Barber, Terry McLaurin came out and dropped the hardest truth of the season. We know we're going to fight, but just fighting isn't enough. We have to execute at a higher level so we're not constantly digging ourselves out of a hole. That's leadership. That's a vet who's been here, who's seen the bad seasons, who knows the difference between effort and results. And he's telling everyone, effort isn't enough. Let me tell you something. McLaurin is absolutely right, and it's exactly what this team needs to hear heading into the offseason. To say, we left it all out there, but at the end of the day, our red zone offense is ranked 6th in the NFL, which is actually pretty solid. The real issue is getting to the red zone in the first place. Something our offense, ranked 25th in third down conversions, doesn't do enough. But McLaurin's point still stands. When we do get to the red zone, in the most critical moments, we fail too many times. And that's what separates good teams from great ones. You remember how many games we lost this year by a touchdown or less. How many times we were in position to win and couldn't finish that last drive. That's exactly what Terry's talking about. At the end of the day, it just comes down to us executing better. There were some positives in individual performances today, and we definitely recognize that, but it's a team game, and we all walk away with the loss. That's maturity. That's a guy who could point to his own stats, who could say, I did my part, but instead says, we all lost. And then comes the gut punch. It sucks because you want to win. I think that's really what it comes down to. We didn't win, and that's the reason we all do this. Simple. Direct. Brutally honest. But McLaurin gives us the truth about where we really are. Dan Quinn backed his vet completely. I love our fight. But the execution isn't at the standard it needs to be to win games. You notice how both the player and the coach are on the same page. That matters. But here's my question to you. How do we fix the execution? Because it's not as simple as practice more or focus harder. Jaden Daniels is a rookie, no matter how talented. Suddenly we're playing guys like Ricky Barber, who weren't even active 2 weeks ago. McLaurin mentioned third down conversions, and that's where our lack of execution really shows. We're ranked 25th in the league on third downs. That means we're constantly going 3 and out, constantly putting pressure on our defense. We've got a GM in Adam Peters who showed he can find and bring in talent. The question is, can we fix it in one offseason? Because if we don't, if we roll into 2026 with the same execution issues, then we're wasting another year of this roster's competitive window. McLaurin is 30. He doesn't have time to wait 3 or 4 years for a rebuild. Quinn's in year 2. And while he's built a strong culture, he needs results. It's a team game, and we all walk away with the loss. It sucks because you want to win. Those words should be plastered on the wall at the Ashburn facility, because they perfectly capture where we are, a team with heart, with physicality, with emerging talent, but without the execution to win consistently. So there you have it, Commanders Nation. 3 stories that perfectly define our 2025 season. We've got hidden talent like Ricky Barber that we discovered too late. We've got a level of physicality that leaves even the teams that beat us bruised and battered. And we've got leaders like Terry McLaurin who aren't afraid to speak the truth, no matter how hard it hits. But now I ask you, what's the most important thing to fix this offseason? Do we need more talent at key positions? Do we need better coaching to improve execution? Or do we just need time for these young players to grow and build chemistry? Let me know in the comments what you think Adam Peters and Dan Quinn's #1 priority should be this offseason. Is it the offensive line, defensive depth, a reliable WR3, or something else entirely? And if you agree with McLaurin that just fighting isn't enough, hit that like button. If you believe the physicality we showed against Dallas is the foundation for something special, subscribe to the channel. And it's gonna win together. So join us, subscribe, turn on notifications, and be part of this journey. See you in the next video with more analysis, more updates, and more truth about our Washington Commanders.